All right, the Hungarian Grand Prix. Can you believe? This is kind of scary for me. I love this race, but it also makes me a little sad because it means that the summer's basically over, and also it makes me sad that we're already like more than halfway through the F1 season.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I also think of it as I finally get to have a break.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, it's vacation. I get to go away. We're going to Italy, so
Oh, that's
looking forward
nice.
to it. So it's exciting.
I get that.
So it's like when I see this race, I'm like, all right, 3 weeks off.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's
Not
fair.
unless there's a big driver movement, then it's 2 weeks off. Let's go.
Hey, no, you never know what could happen this year. It's all out there. It's silly season time.
You're absolutely right.
So let's talk about this track because this is roughly half the size of what the Belgian track is, right? So it's 4.38 kilometers, 14 corners, 1 DRS zone on the start-finish straight. And basically, it's just outside Budapest. Have you been to this track?
Never. No, never this
I've
track.
heard Budapest is gorgeous. by
Yeah,
the way.
me too. I have one of the journalist friends of mine lives here. Obviously, this is his home race, but this is a race I told him that like I've always wanted to come and do. So I'm hoping next year I get that chance.
Mm-hmm.
It looks incredible, like video, pictures, all that kind of stuff. Like when you look at Hungary, like it just looks gorgeous.
They seem to pull out all the stops for it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then they've redone the entire pit building. This is all new. The grandstands are new. So they've done a ton of work here for F1 and sort of similar to like Canada where it was kind of like, hey, like let's make some changes and level up. Same sort of thing they've done here. So they've done a ton of work out of this track.
Now, as a driver, this track is what? What do you think drivers would say about this track?
Go-kart track. That's what it feels like.
Really?
It feels like a go-kart track. You're so busy, dude. Whipping the car around. Like, especially a corner like right here, it's kind of like you're threading the eye of a needle. Like, and then you've got the next chicane that's coming up again. Kind of like threading the eye of a needle a bit. You don't want to overcook it too much. You can't take too much of the curving that's here either.
Because it'll slow you down?
Yeah,
Pop the car?
and then trying to like figure out for me, since I'm still learning the track, trying to figure out the gearing is challenging, and turn-in points and braking points. Like there's a lot happening on this track. Like these drivers are definitely busy on a lap around this circuit, man. Like when they get out of the car, like if it's hot here, when they get out of the car, dude, they must just be
Cooking.
Fried, absolutely fried.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I'm already sweating.
Well,
This is just a video game.
Yeah, one of the things that you kind of point out every time we do this is like, well, if you're going into this corner, you might pick this visual cue, like the 50 on the side there. Okay, now I'm going to brake and slow down, and if I'm in a pass situation, that's where I late brake and I can get away with it, or I take a dive bomb sort of situation. With this many corners, it's got to be hard to kind of remember it all.
Yeah.
Although I know race car drivers, any motorsports drivers, like I don't know if you've seen this TikTok, but there's a guy who's a driver who literally can listen to the engine revving and tell you what track it is based on where the engine revs are at, which is kind of nuts, right? I know it's a little bit wild.
There's no way.
I believe he's motocross, but even so, it's an unbelievable sort of skill. How do you commit a track like this to memory with so much going on?
The more you do it, the more you kind of like lock.
Ooh.
Give me a break, Tim. The more you do it, the more you're kind of like locked into the rhythm of it. I think that's one of the things with this track is once you kind of get proper reference markers, kind of turns into like a rhythm sort of a feel to it, if that makes any sense. So you kind of know like, okay, brake, downshift, 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 roll the car into the corner, back on the power, that kind of thing. So it's all rhythm based. I think that's why the drivers like this track so much.
Last year at this time, we were sort of wondering if Daniel Ricciardo was going to move up into that Red Bull spot for Sergio Perez, and obviously, didn't end up staying in Formula One at all later in that season. In terms of what might be, and this is a weird one to ask you while you're sim driving, but there must be, for a lot of drivers, a lot of distractions on a race like this with contracts being renewed. Some of these drivers, I'm thinking specifically of like what Alpine has with Colapinto, where this is you're taking this like 6 races at a time sometimes.
For sure. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is trying to figure out where everyone's going to be. But if you're a driver like a Colapinto or a Jack Doohan, you got to do well. Summer break's coming up, and that's when teams like to make their driver movement or their calls on their driver lineups for the rest of the season, and that kind of thing. So, I mean, yeah, you just have to try and do your best here, man, and not crash the car, which is really challenging to do. This track is so unforgiving, man. Like, a little mistake and you're in the wall.
People say that this is a Monaco levels of downforce type of track.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure,
just a lot of
a
stickiness.
lot of
Last year, McLaren finished 1-2, but not without controversy. Lando Norris started on pole, only to lose that position to Oscar Piastri. Where have we heard that story before? Lando took back the lead on an undercut, but was asked by the McLaren pit wall to give the position back. And remember, he was way ahead of Piastri. And he said, well, he's going to have to catch me. And then that was where really the McLaren rules sort of things started to occur, because they said, Lando, like, you need your teammate, you need his
papaya rules, right?
Yeah, papaya rules, that's right. Where they're like,
rules.
They're saying, like, Lando, like, you need your teammate in order to make a world championship push, so you got to give this position back. And you could tell that stung him. Now, they were able to sort of smooth that over. And obviously, Oscar has had his moments. Lando won a few weeks ago, and Oscar was pretty pissed about how that went at Silverstone. So what do you think this year with McLaren? And, do you think that they would make a call like that now?
I don't think so. Only because they're probably still so focused on the world title. Because, if you're looking at the way they've kind of run things, they've let these drivers race each other. I couldn't see them telling someone to move over, right? Mm-hmm. And also because of how close they are in the drivers' championship. Like, how could you do that? You know what I mean? Like, how could you tell, Lando or Oscar to move over from a victory? I just don't see that happening.
Especially with both of them so close in the lead. So it's really going to come down to, these two racing each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so, right?
Well, how does a guy like Max Verstappen, with, obviously the car not being in the best place, how does he handle a track like this? To quote Sonny Hayes, build for combat, this car. Would Red Bull do well at a track like this, or is the lack of straightaway going to hurt them?
This is going to be an interesting track for Red Bull. I mean,
you're in one right now. We're watching you, Red Bull.
They believe that they've got a car that's going to be good for a lot of different tracks. I don't know if they're going to be good here, man. Just because of where they were with Monaco. I don't see it.
You don't see it. Okay.
What I do see is me going off track, 2 wheels off track, and getting a black and white flag for some bull crap.
I love how hard you were on yourself earlier. Like, come on, Tim. I love that. I love that. I love that that's still in there. That fire still burns.
The fire. So I'm not 80 years old.
I know, but some people are like, no, I left that part of me behind.
I can still wheel a race car when I get some practice. Just need the practice, man. Look at this. We're catching personal best.
All right, let's catch this one and we'll wrap it up here. Oh, he's ahead. He's ahead. Ooh.
I'm going to overcook it in here. Yeah, he's got me. Damn it.
Yeah?
I think so.
Oh, Tim. There we go. Oh.
You got me. Damn it.
Point 3 off of your personal best. Oh, my God.